Now, in that context, most of those people are Salvadoran. Of course, the U.S. government also has a history of raiding and attacking Salvadorans, not just here in Boston, but also around the world, right? I mean, the United States played a big role in creating the conditions that led so many people from Central America and other parts of the world to come to the United States, not just in search of a better life, but to escape severe violence that they face in their home countries. Nowadays, immigrant youth no longer congregate in the streets of East Boston as they used to. They've been replaced by mostly white professionals who have bought condos, converted from substandard apartments that these youth grew up in, and are now paying more than double the rent for renovated apartments that the previous landlords didn't care enough to improve. They didn't care that the dignity of their tenants was not as important as their profits, right? So now they've realized they can make even more profits, so now they don't rely on, the people that are working 2 and 3 jobs to pay their rent. They just get someone maybe whose parents can pay their rent because it's cheaper than living in the dorms. Just as the trial and execution of Sacco and Vanzetti, the criminalization of marginalized people serves the interests of the rich and powerful. Just steps away from where Sacco and Vanzetti attended meetings of the immigrant anarchist organization Grupo Autonomo, Portland, Oregon-based developer Girding Edlin is building 163 luxury apartments on what's currently known as the New Street Project. Girding Edlin prides itself on what they call green development. Green development for who? These projects only make green for the owners, pushing working class people out to the suburbs where they're isolated and more dependent on environmentally destructive fossil fuels. Simultaneously, the erection of these large-scale, high-priced housings, the FBI is building their new regional headquarters across the Chelsea Creek in Chelsea, which is a heavily immigrant and refugee city whose downtown was the first in the US to be 100% monitored by video surveillance. Capitalist individualism is repackaged as the American dream, uprooting the legacy of working-class immigrants' movements for collective liberation, not just individual advancement. Revolutionary ideas and organizations have largely lost currency in working class communities in the United States, but there is a resurgence that is growing stronger every day. Those in power will always discredit us and criminalize us because Vanzetti's dream, as opposed to the American dream, which is our dream, Vanzetti's dream, threatens the foundations of the white supremacist capitalist system. In order to realize his dream, we must act now. We need a mass movement to defend ourselves against displacement. We need to organize block by block to build independent organizations of tenants. In the words of the late Black Panther, New African anarchist political prisoner, and tenant organizer, Kwesi Balagoon, quote, "Where we live and work, we must not only escalate discussion in study groups, we must organize on the ground level. The landlords must be contested through rent strikes, and rather than developing strategies to pay the rent, we should develop strategies to take the buildings."
Yeah.
Today, that type of revolutionary vision can still be acted on if we organize together, listen to ourselves, listen to each other, and take direct action to bring it about. At a minimum, in the words of Bartolomeo Vanzetti, a roof for every family, bread for every mouth, education for every heart, and enlightenment for every intellect. Power to the people.
Power to the people!
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 Thank you.
Thank you!
Thank you so much. Thank you, Tony. I just really want to thank everybody who came out today, everybody who did all the least fun, logistical parts of it. Thank you, especially Sergio, Sandro, Jerry, Rich. It was so much work. But I just also want to I really also want to thank everybody who spoke, especially the last 2 comrades. It's really important that we come out today to commemorate the death of Sacco and Vanzetti. Tony took the last most pertinent lines that we could have closed with directly from them. But I do think it's really important we observe this day. But again, the most important thing is to observe their legacy every day. And it's that kind of organizing, it's it's like, you know, Black Lives Matter, it's being there in solidarity for the Somerville 18, it's tenant organizing, you know, it's living the way that they lived, you know, like know your neighbor, talk to your coworkers, like organize every day. So when we say Sacco and Vanzetti, let's just, you know, like live it every day, not just today. So Sacco and Vanzetti, Sacco and Vanzetti, power to the people.
Power to the people.
Power to the people.
Power to the people.
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives matter.
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives matter.